Hi, third graders. Welcome to week 6 with our Michigan Studies, Chapter 7, Lesson 6. So, this week we're going to talk about, I'm on page 363. And we're going to talk about a lot about civic responsibilities and duties and like what some of the laws are in Michigan and things like that. So it'll be exciting to learn about. Ideas to explore. What happens in a court? People to meet. Jury, a group of regular people who are asked to come to court and listen to a trial. They decide who is right and wrong. Justices, the 7 judges on the Michigan State Supreme Court are called justices. Michigan State Supreme Court, the highest state court. It deals with the most important cases. Places to discover. Courthouse, the building with 1 or more courts. Words to welcome. Civic responsibility. This is each person doing his or her duty to help government work well and making Michigan a good place to live. Disagreement. This is when 2 people or groups do not agree. They may not agree on how to solve a public issue. Sue. This happens when people go to court to try to get money which they believe is owed to them by somebody else. So, in the caption, it says, juries decide who is guilty in a trial. Juries are not lawyers or judges. Here comes the judge, page 364. Think about this question while you're reading. Why do we have courts? This lesson is about the judicial branch. Remember, we had the 3 branches, the executive, legislative, and the judicial branch. The judicial branch, remember, is the judges. It could be called the judges or courts branch too. Our judges work in this branch. What does a judge do? Where do judges work? Why do we have judges? Judges are in charge of our courts. Most judges work in one of our 83 courthouses. This is where you will find the courts. The judge makes certain each person in a trial asks the right kind of questions. He or she keeps order in the court. The judge works to make the trial fair for everyone. Often the judge wears a black robe. This is how people can tell who is the judge. Court settles disagreements. What happens when there is a disagreement? Our courts decide who is right and who is wrong. They settle disagreements. Our state has several kinds of courts. Each one works with a different area. So, and in the slides, I attached some of our local area courthouse. So what some pictures would look like of that. The Midland County Courthouse. This is a courtroom. The judge sits in a chair between the 2 flags. Page 365. We elect our judges. The voters elect all of the judges in Michigan. This is not true in some states. Voting for our judges is another way the power rests with the people. And in the captions, it says, people in the jury listen to the lawyers explain both sides of the case. And then this one says, the judge is in charge of the trial in each courtroom. What is a jury? Most courts also use a jury. Juries help decide who is right or wrong. The people on the jury make the final decision in a trial. A jury is a group of regular people who are chosen to do this work. They can be anyone who is 18 years or older. They do not have to have special training. They may have been on a jury before, or it may be new to them. Jury members are selected from people living in your area. Perhaps one of your parents has served on a jury. Being on a jury is another way we take part in the government. Being on a jury is part of being a responsible citizen. It is a civic responsibility. Many kinds of disagreements. Michigan has several courts. Courts deal with many kinds of disagreements. Some are criminal cases. Some may be on trial for breaking a law. People may have done crimes and have been arrested. It is a crime to rob someone. It is a crime to hurt someone. In some cases, no one has broken a law. These may be times when one person sues another person. This often happens when one person causes damage for another person. These people go to court to settle the disagreement. The court tries to make things right. Suppose Frank is driving a car, is driving and accidentally hits Mary's car. Frank was driving without car insurance. Mary will want Frank to pay to fix her car. If he does not do this on his own, Mary might sue him. Frank and Mary will go to the court. A judge will run the trial. A jury will decide if Frank should pay or not. Michigan's most important court. Some cases are very complex, meaning complicated. Suppose two groups cannot agree upon what a Michigan law means. The Michigan State Supreme Court may have a case like that. This court is not like any other courts. It deals with only the most important cases. Michigan's 7 justices decide which cases they will hear. All the justices listen to each case at the same time. There are no juries in this court. The justices all vote to decide each case. This court is in Lansing. Now remember, I put a picture on there. I'm on page 367, the picture with Lake Michigan on it. The U.S. Supreme Court decides what the United States Constitution means. It also decides what national laws mean. Our state Supreme Court decides what state laws mean. A recent public issue. Now, this is a real case, and it's very fascinating. When I went to Lake Michigan just recently, I posted some pictures so you could kind of see what the lakeshore was supposed to be like and what and how it relates to certain things. You can walk anywhere you want on Michigan's shores because of this ruling by the Supreme Court. So it's pretty cool, so listen up. A recent public issue. Every place has public issues. These are problems that need to be decided. It is best to think about the common good when deciding public issues. What will be the best for everyone without hurting anyone? Not long ago, the Michigan State Supreme Court had a case about people walking along the beaches. Some people said they had the right to walk along any beach on the Great Lakes. Some others owned land along the beach. They said the beach belonged to them. It was part of their land. They believed they could keep people off of the beach if they wanted to. Each group wanted to pursue its happiness in different ways. One group wanted privacy on its land. The other enjoyed walking along the beach. The Michigan State Supreme Court listened to each side of the case. They thought about what each side said. These judges also looked back at older cases. They reviewed what other judges did in those cases. So here's the picture of Lake Michigan. Now, spoiler alert, they did rule in favor of you can walk on any beach. And in the slides, I posted this really cool video. It was a news video talking about why it's okay to walk on the beaches. And it's not just Lake Michigan, it's all of the Great Lakes. So make sure you check that out. Page 368. The court decided people who have the right to walk along the beaches do have the right to walk along the beaches. They said there were limits though. People can only walk on the part of the beach that is covered by the highest water. People cannot walk over another person's yard. So basically you just have to walk at like the water's edge where it comes up with the waves, because they don't want you in somebody's yard just chilling out and hanging out and setting up camp. Like, you can't do that. This only applies to the beaches on the Great Lakes. It only applies to the part of the Great Lakes in Michigan. Courts in other states may have different ideas about the same issue. So for instance, the other side of Lake Michigan in Wisconsin, they may have a different law or opinion. This is only Michigan, Great Lakes parts. There's the green box. These are some of the ways our state courts decide disagreements. Remember, each state has many kinds of courts. Each county has a courthouse where it has courts. Our courts try to solve disagreements in civilized ways. Fighting is not the way to solve problems. We talk about that all the time in school, so don't forget that. See, they're saying you don't want to do that. Last page, 369. Think about it, talk about it. Number 1, which branch helps settle conflicts and disagreements? 2, name the person in charge of a court. 3, in a trial, which group decides if a person is guilty? 4, why is it important to serve on a jury? 5, which court decides what a law means? Take a stand. Today, Michigan elects its judges. Some people think the governor should choose them instead. Take a stand. Should Michigan's judges be chosen by the governor? Explain your position. So explain like your perspective and your opinion. Include any core democratic values or constitutional principles you can. Have your own trial. That sounds interesting. Pick two, well, this isn't really two students, but you could pick two people at home. It says pick two students who have an imaginary disagreement. Choose a student or a person at home to be the judge and 12 others to be the jury. You may not have enough people, but you might be able to do like stuffed animals or something and have them do a stuffed animal jury. I don't know. Choose a lawyer for each side. Use your classroom as the courtroom. So use your house as the courtroom. The rest of the students can be witnesses for the two sides. So I want to see what you find out. And I want you to check out all of my videos that I posted this week. I went to Holland last weekend and it was really, really super cool because we got to see all the tulips for tulip time. So make sure you check out the Michigan tourist moment of the videos that I posted of like Michigan and the shoreline. And when they're talking about the shoreline, this is what they mean. So check that out. If you have any questions, please let me know. Next week is week 7. It's our last week. Kind of crazy. I'll miss seeing you guys all virtually. Well, have a great day. See you guys next week. Bye.